I want you to picture something with me. It's morning. It's early. The house is quiet. You know, in that way, it only is before the emails start, before the day really kicks in.
Right.
You're in the kitchen.
And the light is just slipping through the window. It's not in a hurry. It just sort of settles on the counter.
On a teacup.
Exactly. Feels peaceful. You're making coffee, maybe some tea. There's that low, steady hum from the refrigerator. The floorboards creak a little. It feels like everything is just where it's supposed to be. It's a rhythm.
The liturgy of the now.
And then your elbow bumps the milk carton, or the spoon just slips from your hand.
The rupture.
Yes. The sound of that spoon clattering on the tile, it sounds like a gunshot in a quiet house.
It does.
Or you see the white milk spill over the rim of the glass, and it's moving way too fast to stop.
And just like that, the piece is gone.
Instantly. It's like a physical thing. My stomach tightens up. My brain just screams, fix it now.
And I'm grabbing paper towels. I'm annoyed at myself for being clumsy. I'm thinking about the time I'm losing. It feels like a failure. A small one, sure, but still a failure.
It feels like an enemy, an intruder in the sanctuary.
It is. It's an interruption of the peace I was just enjoying. I was having this moment, and now I'm just having a mess.
But what if it isn't an interruption?
What do you mean? It's undeniably a mess. My socks are getting wet.
What if the mistake, the spill, the clatter, the rupture, is not the interruption of the peace, but a doorway to it?
Okay, I have to stop you, because that sounds like a very nice thing to say, you know, in a deep dive like this. But on a Tuesday morning when I'm already running late, a spill is not a doorway. It's a hassle. It's sticky. Are we really saying there's something spiritual about spilling milk? Or are we just, I don't know, trying to make ourselves feel better about being clumsy?
That reaction you're feeling right now, that resistance, that is exactly it. That's what we need to explore. Because the wisdom we're looking at today, drawn from centuries of Zen tradition, it suggests that the hassle isn't the milk. The hassle is your resistance to the milk.
So the problem isn't the mess, it's my attitude about the mess. I don't know, that feels a little bit like blaming the person who's holding the mop.
It's not about blame, it's about the nature of reality. We're looking at insights today that challenge the very way we see the broken, the spilled, the imperfect. And I have to say, the sources we're exploring, they don't offer productivity hacks. They offer a completely different way of seeing.
Well, we love a different way of seeing. So let's go back to that kitchen. You described it not just as a room for food, but as a temple of the ordinary.
We tend to treat the kitchen like a factory, a place of output. Think about the modern mind. We want to produce the meal, clean the dishes, optimize the workflow.
Right, frictionless. I want the dishwasher to load itself.
But Zen asks us to see it as a sanctuary. In monasteries, the role of the tenzo, the head cook, was one of the highest positions. It wasn't a chore. It was a high spiritual practice.
Because that's where you engage with the raw materials of life.
And life is messy. Vegetables have dirt, water spills, fire burns.
Exactly.
And this is where we encounter the Japanese idea of Wabi Sabi.
Okay, I've heard this term. It gets thrown around in design magazines, usually for, you know, expensive rustic furniture. A bowl that costs a fortune because it looks rough.
That's the commercial version, yes. But the true meaning, it's much deeper. Wabi Sabi is the intuitive appreciation of a beauty that is transient and imperfect. It's finding wholeness in the cracks, the smudges, the unplanned moments.
Can you break that down? Because imperfect beauty still sounds a little vague.
Think about a pair of raw denim jeans. When you first buy them, they're stiff, they're uniform, a perfect dark blue.
Right, factory perfect.
But after you wear them for a few years, what happens?
They fade, they get creases, maybe a little fray at the hem, they shape to my body.
Exactly. The wear pattern, the damage really is what makes them beautiful. That is Wabi Sabi, the signature of time. The stain on a tablecloth isn't a ruin, it's a witness to a dinner that happened there.
I get that for jeans or an old table. But for a mistake, a clumsy accident.
There's a story from the tradition. An old monk was washing his favorite bowl, a beautiful thing he'd used for years. And one morning, his hands were wet, and it slipped.
Ugh, I can feel that moment, that slow motion fall where you're already grieving before it even hits the ground.
It shatters on the floor.
Yeah.
His student, who was standing right there, gasped. He was horrified. Why? Because he was attached to the perfect bowl. He expected the monk to be devastated.
I would be devastated. I'd be cursing myself.
The monk just looked down at the shards and said, "Ah." So it was time.
Sir, it was time.
No resistance, no fighting what should have been, just an acknowledgement of what is. The bowl was whole, now it is broken. That is the reality. The suffering comes when we argue with reality.
But isn't that passive? If I just say, so it was time, every time I screw up, am I not just giving up on having standards?
There's a difference between carelessness and acceptance. You don't try to break the bowl. But once it's broken, you don't break yourself trying to fix the past. The Source makes this incredible point. The moment we stop trying to control reality, reality reveals its grace.
That's the hard part, though, the control. When I spill the milk, my instinct is to wipe it up before it touches anything else. I want to erase the error, get back to my perfect morning.
But pause, just for a moment. Stay with the milk. If you don't rush to wipe it away, if you just suspend that panic for 3 seconds, what do you see?
A mess. A white puddle spreading on my floor.
Look closer. The liquid spreads. It forms shapes, like clouds or rivers. The light hits the surface of that white pool and reflects the whole room. For a split second before the judgment kicks in, it's just a phenomenon. It's just physics and light.
So the mistake becomes a mirror.
It becomes art, but only if you have the eyes to see it. We treat errors as enemies, as proof that we're not good enough, but the Source suggests we treat them as koans.
Okay, that word. Koan. We think of it as a riddle, right? Like, what is the sound of one hand clapping?
Many people do, yes. But a koan isn't a riddle you solve with logic. It's a tool designed to break your logic. It's meant to exhaust the thinking mind. What is the sound of one hand clapping? Isn't asking for an answer. It leads you to silence.
So how is spilled milk a koan?
Because it presents a reality your logic rejects. Your logic says the milk should be in the glass. Reality says the milk is on the floor. That tension, that mental short circuit, that is the koan.
The burnt toast is a koan. The cracked eggshell in the batter is a koan.
They're little walls you run into, and they ask you quietly, can you be here right now, even when it's not how you planned?
It's asking for presence in the middle of discomfort.
It's asking for intimacy with reality. When we fight the spilled milk, we're really just fighting ourselves. We're listening to that inner critic. But when we stop fighting,
What happens then?
a lightness blooms, a release. We realize the mistake isn't an interruption of our life, it is our life.
Okay, I'm starting to see the accident as a wake-up call. But what about the stuff that isn't an accident? The drudgery. Because a lot of life isn't a dramatic spill, it's just doing the same thing over and over, sweeping crumbs.
Now we are at the heart of it, the repetition. This brings to mind the story of the young chef and the Zen master.
This one really resonated with me. I'm definitely a get the list done kind of person. I want to finish the chores so I can get to the important stuff.
Exactly. So a young, ambitious monk goes to a monastery. He expects to be taught secret recipes for enlightenment. Instead, the master hands him a broom.
Sweep the courtyard until it is clean.
And he does. He sweeps for hours. But it's outside. There are trees, leaves keep falling. He sweeps, they fall. He sweeps, they fall again. Finally, he just throws the broom down and yells, "It's impossible, I can never finish."
I feel that. That is my email inbox. It is never, ever done.
And the master just smiles and says, "Then sweep forever."
That sounds like a curse. Sweep forever. That sounds like my personal nightmare.
Only if you think the goal is a clean courtyard.
Well, isn't that the goal of sweeping? To get it clean?
Not in Zen. The goal is the sweeping. The practice is the motion. The leaves falling are not an obstacle to the sweeping. They are the reason for it.
So, bringing this back to the kitchen, cooking isn't about the perfect meal.
Cooking is Zazen, meditation in motion. But here's the catch. Even mindful monks burn the rice.
That is strangely comforting.
It is, because life is a living river. And here's where we find a really provocative idea. It's a famous saying. If you meet the Buddha on the road, kill him.
Yeah, I've heard that, and it always sounds incredibly violent, like the opposite of Buddhism.
It's meant to shock you. It's not literal, of course. It means you must kill the ideal. If you have an image of the perfect Buddha or the perfect spiritual moment, that image is standing between you and reality. You have to destroy the image to see the truth.
So if I have an image of the perfect dinner party,
Kill it.
kill the perfect dinner party.
Because that ideal is stopping you from enjoying the real dinner party. The one with the slightly burnt lasagna. The one that actually exists. The ideal is a ghost. The real is the burnt lasagna. Choose the lasagna.
There's another story about Master Yenmin. Someone asks him, what is the teaching of a lifetime? That's a huge question.
The ultimate question. And Yunmen doesn't give a lecture. He replies, an appropriate statement.
And when they push him to explain what that is,
He says, milk spilt on the floor.
just that, milk spilt on the floor. That's the teaching of a lifetime.
It's so simple it bypasses your thinking mind. The teaching isn't a philosophy. It's the ability to see what's right in front of you without adding a story to it. Milk, spilled. It's not a problem to be solved, it's a reality to be met.
I think my resistance, and probably a lot of our listeners' resistance, comes from this modern obsession with getting rid of friction. We want a frictionless life. Apps that know what we want, self-cleaning ovens.
But Zen whispers that friction is where awakening happens.
How so?
When everything goes perfectly to plan, where is your mind?
Usually on autopilot. I'm thinking about tomorrow, worrying about yesterday. I'm not really here.
You're sleepwalking. But when the coffee spills,
I am definitely awake and focused.
snap, you are here. The error snaps the mind out of the dream and into the now. The friction wakes you up.
So the error is actually a gift. It brings us back home.
It brings us back.
Okay, let's get practical for a second. We've talked about spills, but sometimes things actually break. Valuable things.
Yes, the stakes get higher.
The sources mention a specific practice for this, the art of breaking. Let's go back to that shattered plate.
The sound is sharp, jarring. Your impulse is to rush. The practice is the 3 breaths.
It's just standing there.
Before you clean, before you curse. You stand for 3 breaths, and you observe the fragments.
To be honest, if I dropped a plate and just stood there breathing, I think I'd just be seething for 3 breaths, not meditating.
And that's okay. The breaths aren't to make you instantly calm. They are to create a gap between the event and your reaction. In that gap, you are looking for muju, impermanence. The broken plate is a teacher. It's telling you a deep truth. Nothing lasts. Not the plate, not your frustration, not even you.
This connects to kintsugi, right? The pottery technique where they repair broken bowls with gold.
Yes. And they use gold to highlight the break, not to hide it. They say, this object broke. And look, it is more beautiful now because of its history.
It's honoring the trauma of the object.
It's honoring the life of the object.
Yeah.
There's another word mentioned, yugen.
Yugen.
It's a profound grace found in the subtle, the imperfectly revealed, the beauty of a broken edge catching the light. It's a beauty that requires you to slow down.
And then comes the smile. The text talks about this involuntary smile. And again, I have to be the skeptic. If I break something I love, I'm not smiling.
It's not a smile of amusement. You're not laughing because it's funny.
Right, because it's usually not funny at all.
It's a smile of surrender. It happens when you stop fighting the mess. It's a physical recognition. This is it. This is what's happening. It's the smile of finally putting down a heavy bag.
I can feel that release of tension.
There's a wonderful figure, Layman Pang, who said, "My supernatural power and marvelous activity is drawing water and chopping wood.
Just doing the chores, that's a superpower.
To do them with total presence is supernatural." And his daughter added, "Every day is a good day."
Even the days with burnt toast.
Especially those days. Because the goodness doesn't depend on things going right. It depends on your capacity to be present for whatever arises.
Okay, this is where I get tripped up. My brain immediately goes into strategy mode. I think, okay, next time I spill something, I'm going to try really hard to smile. I'm going to be the best of acceptance.
And the trap snaps shut.
Right. I'm turning it into another task on my to-do list. Trying win at Zen.
The moment you make peace into a goal, you've lost it. Because the part of you that is trying is the same part of you that wanted the perfect clean floor.
So what do you do? How do you accept without trying to accept?
You look for the gap.
The gap.
The tiny space of time before the story begins. You drop the egg. Crack. There is a millisecond before your inner critic says, "You idiot." In that gap, there is just the raw reality of a broken egg.
Just the what is?
Zen Master Dugjen wrote something profound. He said, "To study the self is to forget the self. To forget the self is to be actualized by the 10,000 things."
The 10,000 things. That's a beautiful phrase.
Yeah, it just means everything. The scattered shards, the sunlight, the sticky floor. When you forget yourself, your ego, your need to be perfect, those 10,000 things step forward and speak to you. They make you real.
So by letting the mess just be a mess, I'm actually connecting with the world.
You are being actualized. You stop being a manager of your life and you become a participant. And that smile we talked about, it's your reply to the world. But you don't even hold on to the smile. You let it pass.
Like steam.
Like steam. And the source brings us to this final image. You return to the sink. You pick up the sponge. You turn on the warm water.
And you just do the dishes.
But you do them without resentment, without wishing you were somewhere else. It's not about learning a lesson. It's about a shift in being.
It's changing. Why is this happening to me? To just, this is happening.
Yes. And in that simple gesture, You're practicing a kind of love, a love for reality just as it is.
It's funny, we started this talking about a disruption, a problem, but we're ending in a place that feels calmer. Calmer than if the mistake had never happened at all.
That is the power of it. The kitchen returns to silence. You sit down with your tea.
No triumph, just stillness.
But in that stillness, the source leaves us with a question to carry with you.
What is the question?
If an error can be a doorway, what else have I been calling wrong that is actually a gift in disguise?
It reframes everything, not just a spill, a missed flight, a difficult conversation.
Everything. The answer won't come in words, it will come in the next breath, in the next spill.
And when that happens,
You'll realize you aren't lost. You are already home.
we'll let that sit with you. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
Until the next spill.